Hey guys, just wanted to pause between new moon bookings for the new moon in Cancer today. Happy new moon to you in Cancer season. We are in the 25, almost 25 degree mark. We're in the last quarter of Cancer season here. And on my time, I'm in East Coast time here. we peaked at our new moon around like 2:30 in the afternoon. So this is a very interesting new moon because we have our nodes of the moon shifting, which occurs about every 18 months. We're shifting from the node points being in Taurus and Scorpio, moving into Aries and Libra. So, it's a very interesting transition. In this new moon chart, you guys, we also have a sun-moon conjunction. And this is going on with Uranus, with Neptune, with Pluto and Eris. Mind you, multiple in there are in retrograde. Definitely Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, Neptune retrograding in Pisces. So we have very interesting kind of transpersonal, kind of out beyond the veil energies at play in this new moon chart. And it's very fascinating to contemplate it, right? Because we had our eclipse portal, our eclipse season open up with that rare hybrid eclipse in Aries. We came into the rebirth of the new zodiac wheel, the year, spring equinox time. We had a huge influx of Aries energy. And this is only really the beginning of the gateway opening. We're going to have a lot of Aries energy influence in the collective to come as well. But it's very fascinating because we had all of this, Aries is very, when I'm doing one-on-one work with people, you guys always laugh because it always makes me think of Wreck-It Ralph. It's like, I'm going to wreck it, right? But, on the scope of fire energy in the zodiac, Aries is your cardinal. Aries comes out swinging, as the first fire sign. I always talk about how, like Aries to me makes me think of a forest fire. And before you go, oh no, look, forest fire is a natural process. It's good. It's healthy for the forest. It's cleansing. There's so many things. I'm not going to environmental science nerd out on you. But anyway, I always think of, Leo is the fixed, very majestic, very lion, very, I'm robed in my toga with my golden diadem holding a flaming torch, and it is very regal fire, right? And then you've got Sagittarius, which is your mutable fire, and it's more like an iridescent, prismatic river flowing of fire. And so Aries is like the wildfire that breaks out through the forest. What we're going to do today is we're going to blaze a trail because I know who I am. And we're going to bust this shit, thing. We're going to bust this thing wide open. And whatever's in the way of the trail, sorry guys, that's not for the highest and best goods. Whatever's an obstacle is going to get blazed. And we're just going to keep moving forward today. And it's very interesting because we had this Aries energy enter into the collective. And I'm not an ego hater. Like, let's not bash the ego. We need to understand the signature of you. We all need to understand our I am, right? This is a divine gift. Souls incarnate into this experience. And one of those reasons is, I know there's a lot of reasons. Okay. The contracts are complicated, but just listen, one of the coveted things, Spirit is saying is that is that souls come down to experience that divine play, the sensual, the five senses. Okay, get with me. I'm not just talking about sex. Okay, I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it, but okay, I'm saying it's a sensual experience, and ego is in balance also with the higher selves and understanding your divine. This is I am. This is the open, unblocked, higher calibrated, higher frequential expression of your solar plexus, right? This is who I am. And so we had all this lit up, kind of stoked within us. And I don't want to say it was egoic. It was like divinely bringing our ego into a right balance with the open and centered heart chakra, grounding into embodiment with the Taurus influence that followed. To say, hey, listen, what I'm gonna need you to do while you're driving your chariot in the 7 year, the year of the chariot is 7 year, right? Is I'm gonna need you to know who the fuck you are. All right. And if you have not been woken up again to the process of remembering, this is what we about to start doing. And so we received all these seeds, these light codes, these activations, all these energy, all of these sparks, right? And so now it's a very interesting thing that the collective energy, and the archetypes of the zodiacs, what the planet's energy is doing right now is now, that's funny, out of the deck flies the Eight of Cups and the Chariot. And we're just going to go ahead right now and take those. Thank you very much. Super appropriate. The Chariot card said, okay, calm down. I'm sorry. Look, it's the Rider Waite. This is my ride or die. He's trusty. Me and him hang. We spend a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears together. He gets excited though. All right, we appreciate his energy, right? Thank you, Spirit. But he will just be shooting out cards, and I'm not taking like 6 more cards right now. He said, "Do you need a message? I got a message for you." So we have the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. Super appropriate for, excuse me, the new moon in Cancer. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. But it's what I'm saying is it's very fascinating because it was very preparatory for this nodal axis shift going into North Node in Aries. I am that. I am. And I'm claiming the remembering, the realignment, the divine gift, the inheritance that comes back to me as I call my energy back to myself because I remember who the fuck I am. You understand what I'm saying? This is not a shadow side, divine masculine, egoic, chaotic. You know what I'm saying? It's a divine balance. It is a higher calibrated, organic frequency of what that divine masculine, and mind you, we all have the divine masculine, divine feminine balance. So the divine masculine energy signature says, I know exactly what I came here to do, and woe unto them who would stand in the way of what I and my highest and best good and alignment on my journey of evolution have come to fucking do. Because I know who I am. So we were set up, and it was a preparatory energy to then come to this nodal axis shift. And that's also super fascinating because now we kind of hit, because the universe got jokes. We have this interesting outer planet beyond the veil, with Saturn going retrograde in Piscean energy. He's kind of the gatekeeper, okay? I know he's not really beyond the veil. He's not an outer planet, but he's the gatekeeper. And even he said, yeah, I'm going to gear it on down for a minute, and I'm going to pass the keys because y'all got to go on beyond the veil. And I really gatekeep, but I don't really be out there like that. So we talked about this in another video. We kind of shot off in our spaceships, right? We're out there. We've got Neptune retrograde in Pisces. We got Pluto in retrograde. We got all this interesting energy. And then, mind you, all the while, this progress, we've got these galactic bodies involved. The Great Attractor, the Pleiades star system has been involved, We have our Sirius Stargate portal, which is a yearly progressional type thing, yes, that will lead us to our Lionsgate portal on 8/8. But it's just fascinating that we have this galactic higher light body type level of guidance and support. Because now in Cancer season, which is a hugely important Cancer season, you can go back to other collective videos that I talk more about that. It's like we really can't come to play about the alchemical signature of the vessels, of that our vessels hold, that our womb space holds, that the fluid, the etheric nature, the water that is in us, this connects to the water and all these things, right? This is all connected with the emotional body, which traces back to this work that we do with our emotional bodies, with our emotions, and with our healing, which is essentially just letting things kind of rise up to come up for air, so that we can get a pause in the moment to pause the story, right? Pause the tape. We remember, and then we breathe, and we let things out like fear. We let things out like wounds. We let things out, and then we just accept. And then love can come in, and then we expand, right? That's why it's so important in Cancer season, which we get an opportunity to do this on the Zodiac Wheel every year. Excuse me. But again, this year is so amplified because it's already a year of 7. It is already a year of the Chariot. Our Merkabas that we're driving are doing some pretty special things, if we choose of our own free will to do the work to be able to align with it, right? Because now here we have, on the tail end of this Cancer season, is interesting. You'll kind of see how the new moons will start doing this. But on the tail end of the Cancer season, we are having our new moon in Cancer, which is conjuncting and doing work with these outer planets. So now Spirit and our higher guides, our ancestors, are saying, I want to connect you with Uranus's higher wisdom. I want to connect you with Neptune's higher love, higher vision. Pluto wants to connect you to a higher level of power once you understand death, once you understand rebirth, once you understand letting go of the scales that cover your eyes, right? And we're all going through these processes in different ways and how it applies to us, right? The 8 of Cups, you could definitely easily say, hey, listen, so the thing is that like a lot of scales have kind of come off my eyes, and I'm going to go ahead and truck it on up the mountain now. I appreciate what all these cups came to bring me. I'm going to go ahead and let that water return to the sea, and I'm going to ebb and flow my way on forward. I don't really need these old stories about myself anymore. I understand, I accept, the traumas, the wounds, the triggers, the fear, the shame. I understand it, but I'm not really choosing to carry those cups with me forward anymore. And that is the healing of the emotional body that gives us the power to really step into the ownership of the gateways that lie inside of our heart chakra. And that is Leo season. That is excuse me, what the Sirius Stargate portals prepare us for, leading up to the Lionsgate portal, right? Is the full-on blasting the fuck open of that heart chakra, right? And a lot of these outer lying, beyond the veil, transpersonal outer planets, however you like to view those, is saying, hey, use this new moon in Cancer to set new intentions that you want to transform. Because we can give you a lot of energy. We can give you a lot of spirit messages. We can give you a lot of healing modalities, guides, ancestors, excuse me. You have to follow your own discernment and intuition as far as where you're at on your path, what you resonate with, what your spirit guides, your higher self, and your team. If you're choosing to be in communication with them, what direction you're being led, right? We can all be experiencing this access to higher wisdom, to higher, whole higher modality, Spirit is saying whole higher dimension, whole higher density energies that we can call into ourselves. And Uranus and Neptune are really in harmony in this new moon chart. If we can stay open to it, if we can keep our minds open, if we can keep our hearts open, and just trust that higher wisdom. And I also love that Uranus is also in Taurus. You know, Taurus is your fixed earth. Taurus is the fixed earth that says, y'all got me fucked. Like, I don't even want to put a penny toward building some shit anymore that is built on a foundation that is not solid, that is not in alignment. Taurus says, what do I value? And Taurus is also Venus ruled. It is very sensual, but it says, I don't even want you to fuck with my senses. Don't come over here and disturb what I'm trying to build if it's not in alignment with what I value. So that is why the wound work and the knowing of self and the emotional, where do you think those values are rooted? They're rooted in your emotional body. They either block or fully expand and open your heart chakra so that then you can call the energy that you need to continue to realign with those values. And, you know, Uranus helps us get out of the box. It kind of maybe, sometimes, you know, I love to say Uranus, which rules Aquarius, Uranus will love to kind of hit you with a left hook in a way to get your attention, to make you see something you wouldn't have seen any other way, because you need to understand why it is that you value what you value. Jupiter is also in Taurus still right now, saying, I would love to expand, but you got to understand, I'm no selector. I'm no picker of favorites, you know? Hey, what you got on your table? That looks great. Let's expand it, right? So we need to be understanding what we value. And if we don't fully and clearly understand what we value, we need to look into our emotional body. And you know, the goal is know thyself. It's not, I like to give the message in Cancer season, especially in a year like this energetically, is that I think some people like to do what is like having the same, what am I saying? Having a phone and switching providers, right? You know, it's like, well, I'm going to switch over to spirituality, but there's still this dogmatic sense. There's still these inverted kind of like matrix shadow codes that run within our DNA that think we have to self-sacrifice, that think we have to have a measuring stick to tell us we are good enough, we are healed enough. That is still very dogmatic. And that's not what we're talking about. It's like, oh, what you going to say? I got a new list I got to heal now. Okay, but I'm still healing now. And really at the core of it is healing is just taking a damn breath, taking a minute, pausing the whole shenanigans out there long enough to say, I see it. You know what I mean? I understand it now. I've let it come up to the surface for air now, or maybe I went down in the bottom of the pits of the ocean with a kraken. Right? Because we're completing that Taurus and Scorpio axis. Okay, we went down and we wrestled with our Scorpio shit and our South Node so that we could evolve into our Taurus North Node and really understand this is my destiny, which is tied into what it is I fucking value. And then when we lock that place in the node shift, which they are doing today, we can then, it's kind of like I was telling someone else in a one-on-one work, and I was like, you know, between the end of May and in June, it's like graduation season, right? And so now, every 18 months, right? Spirit, your ancestors and guides, remember we've been talking about how we've been sitting at the tables with them. They said, oh, great job. Man, really fucking awesome work. I'm so glad you graduated. The North and the South nodes are a lot about karmic, fated energies, destinies. It's like, all right, somebody who's a gamer out there, right? Like, somebody give me the cheat codes. Can you just fucking tell me why? Okay, without a cup of shrooms or some ayahuasca or some shit. Can you just tell me, like, why am I, what's the contract? Can I peep at my soul contract? Fast forward me, give me some cheat codes. This is your North and South node placements. So now, you know, your guides are saying, excellent job. We're going to go ahead and move you up to the next class. So if you graduated in understanding what it is that you value, if you wrestled with the South Node in Scorpio and all these energies of the last 18 months of understanding, kind of going down to the pit. I always see Scorpio as more like a kraken or like a dragon at the bottom of the ocean. But yes, Scorpio also appropriate. You wrestled with those things down in the darkness that are very deep and emotionally and intense. And you came back up and evolved into your Taurus North Node. And you said, I understand what the fuck it is I value. Okay, so now we're going to graduate into Aries. I now know who I am. What's the caveat to that? The South Node in Libra is, how is this going to play out in relationships? And what are the relationships? And why have you chosen these relationships? Why do you repeatedly, okay, you know who you are? Well, let's test who it is that you know who you are, who you've divinely been told who you are. You know, the best litmus test for self-work, spiritual work, evolutionary work, and healing. It ain't in meditation, although you know I'll be the first one to tell you to meditate. It's in interactions with people, especially soulmates. Maybe it's not a romantic partner. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a soul tribe. We ain't even trying to get in no twin flames today. Let's keep that moving forward today. But I'm saying, because you know what? You cannot control what the other person is going to do. You can't control, and you don't know what they felt, and what have they been through. And then we have all these other things which are going to present themselves to you, and then you are going to choose how to react, right? And so we're going to see a very interesting unfoldment of this Aries Libra axis. I am, and you are, you divinely are. Okay, I am versus everyone else. And how do I find balance with that? And some people will find themselves on the flip side of, I really need to own more of who I am and who I know Spirit is calling me to be, and not sacrifice so much in different relationships. I like to also say emotional contracts type of environments. So it's very interesting to see this shift happening right here with the new moon in Cancer. As well, we have, we have the aspect of the new moon also conjuncting Pluto and Eris. Eris is the goddess of chaos and discord. We had a whole sequence of Pluto and Eris squares over the last couple years, so that's interesting. But Pluto kind of gets into a lot of power play. How do you give your power away? Do you claim victimhood in your life? What are you really motivated by gaining power? What's your relationship with power? And just when you think it's evolving, Pluto is the Lord of Death in the underworld, who'd be the first to check you and say, oh, that's really cute. And then some shit will die really hard in your life. And you'll be like, oh, damn. But that's the process of evolution with working with Pluto. And then again, this also involves Eris energy. And Eris, the goddess of chaos and discord, maybe think of like Medusa's story. Oh, everyone made her out to be some crazy ass person walking around with some dude's head, but you didn't really know how all that popped off to begin with. And so, a goddess archetype of energy like Eris will loves to say, oh no, I just walked into the middle of these courts with this dude's head and all these snakes on my head just to get y'all's attention. Because now it's time for you to really hear my story. You got to love a good dose of unexpected chaos to say, oh, what? And then you think you knew how everything went, but you really are just beginning to learn, right? So when we have this Eris energy involved, and again, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Neptune retrograde in Pisces is kind of chilling. Like, I really want you to come out here with me beyond the veil and see these things for yourself. And Eris is like, well, you know what? Shout out to me if you need some help and they're not deciding to come and do the work they need to do. Because I'd be glad to make some heads roll if your ancestors and guides need help getting your attention. Right? So we do have the energy in this moon cycle. We do have the energy in the end of Cancer season. It's kind of like, I might get some revelations that maybe I was trying to keep my eyes closed to. Maybe I was trying to practice avoidance to. And it's not anything to stoke a fear-based mindset. But sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Right? Because in Cancer season, we are dealing with childhood, ancestral wounds, mother wounds, corded, Cancer season is very like corded, ancestral. I'm passing down the ancestral trauma, from her mother to my mother, and then from my mother to me, and these generational wounds, right? And so we're already working on that. We're already reestablishing how to remother ourselves, to find our own safety and security. But and you know, again, you've got the Uranus and Neptune aspect. It's like, yes, let's go deeper. You know, yes, let's go out. Let's meditate. Let's do our rituals to heal. But then Pluto and Aries team can kind of come in and say, yeah, but we also need to talk about how we're spiritual bypass. And we also need to talk about how you've got this false sense of emotional safety set up in these relationships you choose, or these habits that you have. And we're going to need to make a little bit of heads roll around here too at the same time. And it is a necessary, like, double-edged sword of the medicine they bring, you know? Because ultimately, if you do not deal with that is buried, that is not resolved, that is still in shadow, I mean, it will out. And you better hope it does out, because the plot twist to that is, if it doesn't, it's going to leak out of your energy and emotional body and out of your aura, and then it will make room for corded attachments, for manipulation, for people to energetically feed, and that's a whole nother video for another day. So there's a lot of space for deep healing work in this moon cycle. And you know, we do have that empowerment of that Aries in the North Node, and we're going to be working more towards Aries in the North Node energy. We're going to be dealing again with Libra in the South Node energy. So it is good, you know, it works in our favor that we have that. Yeah, but remember who I told you that you are. Okay, don't forget that. But remember that you know who you are, right? This is the energy of working back to being more in the energy of the North Node in Aries, right? But the South Node in Libra is not the bad guy. It just comes to help us learn those lessons. Sometimes they're really hard because they have to do with relationships. Oh my goodness, really, there's so much more in this new moon chart, but really there is so much wisdom. There is so much higher power. There is so much energy that can be extremely transformative. It just depends on if we want to access it and then what we choose to do with it, right? Because when we are accessing energy like that with the outer planets, with the planets beyond the veil, we have the experience, right? But then we have to have integration. You know, this is like, okay, I went on, you know, on a trip to the Amazons, and I did ayahuasca, and it changed my whole perception on like, dude, I saw everything, and I went in a different life, and then right, you have all these experiences, and they're amazing. They can be life-changing, but I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't mean shit if you don't integrate it back into the now. Right? It's really important that the wisdom, that the insight, that the higher mind energy becomes, again, Uranus and Taurus, it comes down back into the body. And also it reconnects with the new crystalline earth grid. Okay, it needs to reconnect to you into your body, move down through your chakra system, and connect you back to the earth grid. It's like we're trying to run energy down. We need a solid conductor, but we need to ground it all the way down. Do you know what I mean? Or else, where's it going to go? Why don't we conduct all this energy, this whole experience, and we're just going to run it down through a pole, and there's no grounders, and then we're going to either make a crazy, dangerous mess, or we're just going to lose everything we built up, and we can't do anything with it, right? I would definitely say opening a lunicycle where we have a lot of this outer body nebulous energy combined with a very emotional period with Cancer season. And granted, it is going to close out on the 22nd, but we are in a Cancerian year. The year of the Chariot and the Cancer. Spirit is showing me, because you know that the Chariot card is a lot about driving your Merkaba. You're driving. Why is it like, we in this bitch? Okay, we driving. You the driver. Nobody else is driving. It's you. So it's like if you're driving a car, but you put shit gas in, okay, is not, how are you going to drive that effectively? And so if the emotional body, the waters of the vessel, again, are cloudy, if they're weighted down, and if we are refusing to face some things we need to face, to let me, and just again, let some things up that just need to be felt. Okay, you know what? I see it. I see it. That happened. I get it. I felt it. I'm not repressing it anymore. And maybe I even told someone else my story. And hell, maybe I even, in service to the entire collective, in service to Source, maybe I helped some people with it. That's great. Maybe we just needed to let it out so it could do what it needed to do. Okay, but if we're not doing any of that work, how are we gonna drive a vessel? It's like having a car with shitty fuel in it. Okay? Change your oil. Nah, okay, anyway. But do you know what I'm saying? The 7 year, being the year of the Chariot, is learning how to drive your Merkaba. Okay? It's your little soul flying vessel out here, okay? Because you've been given the reins. So, you know, the work of Cancer season, but the work of a year that is ruled by the Cancerian energy, it can be very challenging. There's a reason that people, you know, develop addictions. There's a reason that people have soul fragmentation that causes terrible personality disorders. And there's a reason that people, I mean, we could go on and on. You understand what I'm saying? Because there is a matrix, there's a system that is very dark and is set up very opposite that feeds off of all of that, you know, and it's very hard work that to realize that the route to receiving the keys to get the reins back, to open the light codes, to develop the seeds that have been planted in you, to understand what your DNA really is, all this stuff, right? That shit lies on the other side of dealing with the shame, the fear, the trauma, the wounds, of looking at them, of understanding and knowing yourself so you can move past them. You know why? Because you don't want them to be used against you. Because then let me tell you something, if you're reliving all of these old cups, if you're replaying all of these emotional programs running loops inside of your body, okay, if we are not doing the work to get through them, to wade through them, to clear them out of our energetic fields and our emotional body and the waters, etc., and walk our asses on up forward, yes, to another mountain. If we don't do that work, I'm going to tell you, you are not driving. Someone else is driving. And it's not you. And it's preferable, and in fact, it is your inheritance, and it is coded within your DNA if you can remember that you're supposed to be the driver. It's not supposed to be the other way around. Right? So, you know, I know, I know that Cancer season can be very tough. It can be very challenging. And I'm not sitting up here talking to you about this work that needs to be done, in fact, has to be done, because I had some rosy fucking walk through the meadows. Do you know what I mean? Because I haven't. Not in childhood, not in teenage years, not in it's been many cycles. It's been many cycles, and I'm not going to be one to sit here and tell you, oh, we need to do this work, and I've just had it walking down the yellow brick road, because I have not. But I don't know, maybe it's the stubbornness in me, you guys, you know, maybe it's I have fixed signs in like my sun, moon, and rising. I have all this fixed energy all throughout my chart, even in my nodes. It's everywhere. So there's a certain, maybe it's divine, and a lot of times I feel like it's a damn curse, but I'm not speaking curses on myself. I'm too stubborn. I'll be like, y'all got me fucked up if somebody else is going to drive my shit. Oh, I got to wade through this to get the keys to go back to the, y'all got a template, y'all got a map out there, and what y'all telling me is I can't see it and someone else is driving. Y'all got me fucked up today. It's that Aries energy, right? I know who I am. And if I ain't nothing else, is no one else is going to drive my show for me. That's not what's going to happen. I'm not having it. You know, but it's hard. It's hard work. Walking away from, dude, there are programs that have been running. When I talk about releasing old stories, that's a very generalized, like, you know, it's a comfortable statement. We got programs running in our emotional bodies that have been there since we were like embryos in our mom's wombs, okay? I'm not saying it's easy work, right? But we do it in cycles. We do it through compassion and love for ourselves. And we do it in hopes that if we are able to do it well enough and understand it and know ourselves well enough, maybe we can prevent some other people from not having to go through it as hard as we had to. You know, the Eight of Cups energy is, I always tell people, you've got to move the stagnant energy. This is a go-to card for me in readings, is saying you need to do a water ritual to cleanse your emotional body and to let go of stagnant, stuck energy. You know, I want something better for me. And then if you can muster up the nerve to say, I want something better for me, then you might, you better watch out. You might catch yourself saying, I want divinely aligned things for me, actually. Actually, hold on. I don't want anything less than that, actually. And then you just keep walking away from those cups. You say, you know what? No, I'm good. And you take that cup out of your backpack. You know what? I really don't want, You know what? I'm going to go to the top of this mountain. I'm going to do my water moon ritual. And I'm going to say, I want better. Man, what a lie. What a sham. What a trap to be stuck in, thinking that, oh, this is it for me. This is all I get. This is all I deserve. That is such a, wow. If you only knew what you are, Spirit is saying. Right? You know, in a very basic way, the Eight of Cups is walk away from the negativity, change direction. Okay. You know, we feel, we process, we understand, we see, I know myself. Okay. But are you changing direction? Are you walking away from it? Because if you're not, remember, you know what? That's not you driving. Something else is driving your vessel, and it's not you. Is it pain? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it fear? Is it programs? If you're awake to the programs, it's different if you're not awake to them yet, you know what I'm saying? But if you see them and you can't, you gotta walk the fuck away. Get up and walk away. Take the cups out of your backpack. Say, I choose better for myself. You know, we store memories, we store energy in our muscle tissues, we store them in our nervous systems, in our endocrine systems, in our hormonal systems, in our circulatory systems. We store it. So we do the work of meditation, we use affirmations, we do sound healing, we spend time in nature. Everybody say it with me. Please take off your shoes. This is what we do. This is a process that we go to reprogram our energetic bodies, our emotional bodies, our psychic intuitive bodies to get these things out. Because we're able to choose our own path. We're able to drive the Merkaba. Okay, listen, but y'all remember driving, though. It's not like you get the keys and then you know the next day somebody else is going to be like, I was an immediate great driver. Whatever. No, you weren't. Stop it. It takes time to learn how to drive. You're going to get better and better through each cycle. Just because Daddy Saturn gave you the keys in Pisces and said, bam, look at this new timeline you're going to inherit, doesn't mean it's going to be easy the first go around. And there's still going to be some death cycles. Don't be crying out there, okay? Gaia, in her infinite wisdom, even in her upgraded and newly energized 5D crystalline grid, she still has death cycles literally every year, okay? Because she understands the wisdom behind them. Right? So it's okay. We're going to be all right. I just want you to know that when you let go of things, It is telling your higher self and your team of guides, I have a better fucking vision for myself. And I'm going to drive towards it. You guys help me drive. You guys teach me. I remember in the beginning of the year when I was talking about the year of the chariot, I kept saying, you can't put everybody on your on your chariot. It's not going to, this is what is it? This is physics. This is, you know, you're going to get all this momentum built. You're going to be in a direction. You're going to have so many things on your chariot and you're just not going to be able to stop it. That's not what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, what am I at timestamp wise? Do I have time? Because if I go over a certain time mark, it'll either cut me off or it just takes forever to upload. I'm not even going to lie. I really want to read one of these to you guys. I've been using these for the new moon and Cancer readings. The Herbal Astrology Oracle is amazing. You know what I'm going to read, and I'm not going to pull one. This is just one that I've been meditating with because I'm getting ready to work on these Neptune candles. And this one is Passion Flower. And yes, they will have Passion Flower. But I'm going to read Passion Flower to you from this beautiful book by Adriana Ayales. Let's just take a moment to appreciate her for putting numbers on the cards. If you do one-on-one work with me, then you already know I'm going to get so salty when there is not no numbers or alphabetical order. Y'all help me out. I cannot be flipping through these books all day. All right. Let's read about Passion Flower. It says surrender. Sacrifice, surrender, choosing growth, trusting discernment, rituals of letting go. Astrologically ruled by Neptune and the moon. In shadow, it is deception, misguided intentions, deceiving opportunities, unexpected halts, and bad judgment. Can we get a prettier look at this? I'm terrible at this too. I'll drop my candle or knock this. She knows we'll burn something. Hold on. Oh, that's nice. I'll take that. Okay. Passion flower, a precious botanical native to Central and South America, was named for the Passion of Christ. No, don't check out. Stay with me, okay? God. It's referring to his suffering and death by Roman Catholic priest, in the 1500s. It was also called La Flor de las Cinco Llagas. I hope I didn't butcher that. Or the flower of the 5 wounds, referring to Christ's stigmata. The 5 petals and the 5 petal-like sepals? Am I saying that wrong, you guys? Anyway, of this flower represent the 10 apostles who remained faithful to Jesus throughout the Passion. It's debatable, but we'll continue. Just stay with me. The circle of hair-like rays above the petals represents Jesus' crown of thorns. Since its introduction into European herbal medicine, passion flower has been used as an antispasmodic, hypnotic, anodyne, antioxylytic. Y'all, I'm struggling. It's not important. A sedative and a nervous system tonic. The leaf tea became popular in North American medicine in the mid-1800s for similar uses as those in South American traditions. Passion flower tranquilizes edgy nerves and helps with insomnia, mood disorders, headaches, colic, migraines, menstrual cramps, diarrhea, neuralgia, eye disorders, epilepsy, convulsions, and muscle spasms, and pain. To this day, passion flower is used by many shamans in herbal baths and floral baths to calm and cleanse the spirit. Passion flower is considered a bridge to Christ or Christos consciousness, which assists in direct communication with the mythical voice within. It was also used as an incense to alter the energy of spaces that were stressed, traumatized, or disrupted. Passion flower is ruled by the mighty powers of Neptune, the planet of spiritual realization, religious experiences, the spirit world, and Maya, the great illusion, the guidance. Passion flower symbolizes surrender, sacrifice, and the crucifixion of the ego. Passion is very interesting. We were talking about the ego. Passion flower resembles the need to sacrifice in order to make space and move forward. Yes, Eight of Cups. The all-seeing double-headed owl symbolizes the great understanding perceived from both sides, whether it be upside down or inside out, and bestows Goddess Passion Flower with unseen truths as she performs rituals for letting go. Owl is symbolic of discernment and able to light up what needs to be seen. Passion flower today might reflect the need to suspend actions that aren't aligned with your spiritual path. Are there certain decisions or actions you've made that you must sacrifice in order to reassess your direction? Honor your intuition. It's okay if projects or original ideas come to an unexpected halt. Discernment is the key to experience greater truth and opportunities. And with that, I wish you a very powerful but self-nurturing new moon. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I look forward to talking to you soon, okay?